Hello everybody, how are you all doing today? It's now August the 22nd. It is a Wednesday and I'd like to do a technical analysis for Bitcoin because I need to catch up. I took Tuesday off and most of the weekend and here I am up at 1:30 in the morning. Sleep schedule's a little bit weird again because Bitcoin RSI alerts were going off last night. So I woke up to trade between about 3 in the morning and 7 in the morning. And for those that missed it, it was very, very awesome. Yesterday I ended up doing, I caught a small uptrend for Bitcoin, right? And I ended up making, a short for Bitcoin rather. I shorted Bitcoin yesterday and it was a very good profit. I shorted from almost 64.90, I believe. I can't remember. Yeah, I shorted from about 64.90, closed it around 6,400, 14 Bitcoin position, very easy $1,200. And then I also shorted NEO as well. I shorted NEO. This one was kind of an odd trade. It was like a $30,000 position for a 0.75% scalp, but the Bitcoin position was really good. It was a well over 1% scalp. So yesterday alone, that was up about $1,500, and they were both short positions. And guys, for the past few weeks, what have I been talking about, right? No position yet for BTC. Will long upon breakout above 64.50. And I've been kind of talking about this breakout for a very long time now. And the last one that where I did a technical analysis was actually on the 17th, which was about 5 days ago, right? I mentioned strong resistance between 64.50 and 6,500. If broken, we can test 6,800. So that was the most recent technical analysis. And of course, guys, we completely nailed it. So what positions am I in right now? None. I'm not in a position yet. Waiting to see what's going to happen, waiting to see if I'm going to be shorting it, right? That's kind of my main goal right now. And this resistance was really strong, guys, like right around these ranges right here, right? I'm just going to highlight it for you. So it's very important to always do a recap, okay? Do a recap of your trades, of your successes, of your failures especially, and also make sure you guys identify key regions of support always as well. So I was mentioning that basically above 6,500 was a very strong resistance. And if broken, great. That's exactly what we wanted to happen, okay? So now this green area, if we are to remain bullish, okay? So first of all, it ended up being something like this. Would you agree with me? Right, in this specific area right there, let's highlight a different color. It was making kind of like an ascending triangle after this peak formed right here. Or this bottom right here, right? In this area, one bottom, second bottom, great, ascending triangle, and it finally broke out of it. Now that we have broken out of it, guys, we simply got rejected pretty hard. We got rejected at the $6,900 level, okay? $6,900 level by $164, and specifically at the 4-hour EMA as well. So these two candle formations right now are fairly bearish, just to be completely honest, all right? What we would like to happen next is to break above here, okay? So now let's say I took out this right here, okay? Do you guys see this channel that's being made? I actually drew this a while back, right? So there's one going that way. And then if we actually just took this right here after it all reformed, let's just say I did something like that, moved it a little bit, and then I brought it to over here. Well, it was kind of evident, in my opinion, that this was going to be a very strong resistance. I did mention specifically at the $6,800 region, there would be some really strong resistance. And why did I say that? According to Fibonacci as well, right? There we go. That's the Fibonacci resistance that I've been talking about at the 0.382. Fibonacci retracement level. And of course, we were going to get a reaction. So I took the entire structure, right? The entire structure from here to here, and we always do get some sort of reaction, or not always, the majority of times we get a reaction, okay? We get a reaction at all these fib levels, and that's very important for us to understand that. So are we gonna break above it? Maybe, maybe not. But what's important is that there are massive trend lines that are already established for supports and resistances, right? This green area right here is kind of a support now, support zone, okay? Support zone in here. Make sense? So this support zone is roughly between 6,500 and 6,600. So if we are to stay bullish it's very important for us to make an impulse wave that possibly goes up like this, okay? So maybe we'll land in one of these support zones. And what we always have to remember is that wave 1 will act as a very strong type of support, right? And then hopefully we'll break out of here, guys, right? If we are to be bullish, this will break out of there, and perhaps we will, who knows, this trend line might not even be any relevant, the one that I'm drawing. So if we are to be bullish and hit those ones up there, well, we would most likely bounce off of, I don't know, perhaps one of these trend lines, and then we make one more impulse wave going up. And then perhaps this could be an ABC going upwards, right? Does this make sense, guys? So let's just say that we are bullish right now, right? And we are doing some sort of ABC in here, that because it's part of an entire structure of ABCDE, right? So is it still possible for us to hit one of these targets up there? Maybe. Because then if this was A, then, well, this one could have just been like a three-wave structure going upwards, right? Because sometimes it can make a flat like that going up. Goes A, B, C, and then it makes a B, corrective pattern coming down. And then perhaps this one, C, usually makes a... So A could actually be in a three-wave structure, right? This could be like 3-3-5 is what they call it. And there's also 5-3-5 structures as well that we have to remember according to Elliot wave. So if this first wave right here did an A, B, and C going upwards, then this one could be an ABC as well, right? But the C wave is always going to come in a 5-wave structure. You guys have to remember that, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm just basically outlining the path of what is possible. So we have to remember this as well. On a bigger picture right here, we're seeing this sloped down, and we're seeing these touch the bottoms many, many times. So because it touched the bottom many times, this is technically still a descending triangle, guys. But I am trying to outline the path for the bulls that could make sense if we were to uptrend up there. So of course now, for us to hold bullishly, in my opinion, okay, so this C, keep in mind I mentioned there's always 5 waves, right? Do you guys remember I said that? C always has 5 waves, no matter what. So then, if this is a C going upwards, right, like there could still be one more wave technically going up as well. So what I'm going to see is this right here. I'm going to clear all this out. I don't see this as 1, okay, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't see this as an extended 5th wave. The way that I'm going to gauge this right here is very simple. Let's break it down even further. Okay. Actually, no, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? And that's 2, and this is basically a third up there. So what I'm going to see is this. Are we going to hold bullishly on this specific structure? And also, say on the 15-minute chart, are we going to hold it on a 55 EMA? So I'm waiting to see if 6,600 and above will hold, specifically at the golden ratio. If that doesn't hold, I'm going to be looking for perhaps a long entry above 65.38. And the key thing to remember, guys, is this, right? Like I was talking about it already earlier, is that we're technically in a channel right now in the flat, right? So if we are in the flat, it's always good in your best interest, guys, to draw it out like that, right? And consider some of these bull trapped regions or bear trapped regions as well. Does that make sense, guys? So let's just try to draw it a little bit better like this, okay? Some regions are bull trapped regions, some of them are bear trapped regions. Always account for that. I don't ever recommend drawing wick to wick, right? I always recommend drawing body to body because wicks are actually going to be a rejection, okay? If wicks are a rejection, that's really important for us to understand that bull traps and bear traps absolutely happen all the time. So now what I'm waiting for is a possible retracement to 6,600-ish, 65.30 at the lowest, but more so specifically in this range right here. If we hold bullishly in one of these ranges, great, then we're going to get an opportunity to break well above it and hit that possible longer term target for all the bulls out there, the swing traders, right? So something like that. I'll put this on a log scale actually. There we go. I'm not going to be swinging this. I'm just doing a technical analysis more so for you guys and to catch myself up as well, right? So I carved out the path where we could hit possibly 7,200 range, 7K to 7.2. I think a lot of people are actually going to be short in the market in that range. And then if we do get to that range, it's going to be roughly at the 0.5 Fibonacci level. So the way that I see it is like this, okay? We want to have like, just as an example, according to Fibonacci, we're going to go up and then we're going to try to catch a bounce, right? Let's just say this was a typical ABC coming down, A, B, C. You would want to go long somewhere in here. That's ideal at the 0.5 to the 618. Now let's say we go to the opposite, okay? Let's say we go to the opposite, guys. I'm going to teach you guys this as well. Okay, you guys saw how that one was. Now I'm going to show you guys on a downtrend. Let's just say this was 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then this makes an ABC upwards, right? So then we would take the retracement from up there, and then we would want to target a short position down over here, right? Where it enters perhaps one of these regions. So the opposite applies very heavily as well, right? So you have to change up the mentality a little bit when you're going long and when you're going short. And that's very important for you guys to understand, that we have to make sure that we kind of swap our mentality. So these are my thoughts right now, guys, that I think the bulls are winning right now. Short term, they definitely are winning. And but another bearish scenario, so they're winning because they clearly spiked it, right, to around the $6,900 level, and we're going to go over longs versus shorts as well. But guys, the big question is, will this be a dead cat bounce? Because keep in mind, we only did just barely make it to the 382 Fibonacci level, right? Barely made it. So now I'm a little bit worried that if this is going to be the downtrend, are we going to actually fall right down below now? So on my end, we've got to hold bullishly above 63.38 or something, 6,600 specifically, for us to be bullish. But guys, the moment that we start falling through back into these trading ranges over here, or if we are actually going to make a bearish flag, okay? If that holds like that, okay, just this whole thing right there, and then we end up falling back down to over here, like, you know, the 63, 6,400 ranges, I'm going to be completely bearish. Yeah, so it really does vary on what happens. You have to think of a trader as people who has to constantly think of how to enter, right? How to enter a position, how to find these high probability setups as well. And we have to try to think of entries and exits. So a good trader will think of every single possible scenario that could possibly happen. And this way you can account for unforeseen circumstances that could happen. And if they do happen, well, you've got a strategy as well, right? It's really bad if you are just bullish and you stay permanently bullish or permanently bearish, right? Always gotta have a plan, guys. So these are my plans right there. I'm gonna wait to see if we hold above 65.38-ish, 6,600 specifically as well. If we do, and we show signs of support with bullishly diverging RSI especially, and histogram ticking up, good price action, level 2 looks like it's bouncing, bam, I'm going to be in a trade. But then, if we end up falling below to the 63 to 6,400 range, off the table, guys, off the table, then I'll just probably end up waiting, and I'll wait, and I'll wait, and I'll wait, and I'll just look for a drop in the market, right? So when that happens, I know that we're going to be bearish. So instead of trying to short and enter a position, I'm going to basically wait for a drop to happen. So keep in mind my strategy. I wait for a major drop to happen, and then I look for bullishly diverging RSI so I can go long. Or if I miss an uptrend, right, I wait for it to reach 5 Elliot wave counts, and then I short the top. That's kind of my strategy. That's my bread and butter, guys. I don't need to adopt any other strategy. You don't need to play every single play, right? You don't really need to. The best kind of traders are the ones that stick to their strategy and they keep refining it over time. Hey, I'm making really good money doing what I'm doing. Why would I want to add more to my repertoire? I don't need to, because it's working so freaking well that it has not flawed me in any way at all. So those are my two thoughts, guys. In terms of moving averages though, okay, I'm just going to go over moving averages really quickly with you guys, and then BTC USD long and short as well. So moving averages, we're definitely bullish. Well, here's a golden crossover that's going to happen. It happened on the 30-minute chart. Golden crossover happened on the 45-minute chart, happened on the 1-hour chart, but it has not happened on the 90-minute chart yet. So obviously 2-hour hasn't happened yet either. So right now we're bullish up to a 1-hour chart. So what you want to do, guys, is you want to stay bullish on all time frames, right? So let's say that we get a golden crossover on whatever low time frame, you want it to cascade, right? You want it to cascade over to a higher time frame. So if it does that, then you have a higher degree confirmation of an uptrend. So now we're going to see if this could actually uptrend to, for example, a 2-hour and a 3-hour chart as well. So there's a lot of pressure right now for the bulls. So let's take a look at USD, BTC long versus short, and go over that as well. I'm a little bit tired, but I'm going to go to the gym right after this because I was slacking off today. I don't like to skip going to the gym now, actually, believe it or not. I'm getting into a very good habit. So that's BTC longs right here. Okay, that's BTC shorts. Okay, so right now what we're seeing is about 20,000 BTC longs and about 36,000 BTC shorts. So if you look at it on a lower time frame, like a 30-minute chart, you see it just skyrocket there, right? So what the bulls did was they actually ended up liquidating the bears. So what that means is that the bulls are just buying and buying and buying and buying and buying. And these bears are actually forced to close their short position. And you have to close your short position by buying, right? So when you're buying, you're actually adding fuel for the bulls to have these types of formations and candles and price action, right? So that's why we got that massively big green candle on Bitcoin. It's because the bears were closing their positions or they got liquidated or they got margin called, right? And then when that happens, it adds a lot of fuel to the fire. And that's how these large degree trends or large rallies and uptrends can actually happen. So other than that, guys, thank you very much for watching this video. I don't want to keep it too long. I've got to go to the gym. You guys kind of have my 2 cents as well. Make sure you guys are following me on Twitter, right? Follow me on Twitter, follow me on YouTube, or subscribe to it. If you guys like the material that I'm making, make sure you're, trust me guys, I'm not chasing likes. I don't care about likes. But you know what the likes do? It lets me know that you guys approve the content and that you appreciate it. And in turn, it keeps me wanting to make more content. Does that make sense? Isn't that fair? If you guys like my material, make sure you guys are following me on YouTube, Twitter. Please make sure you like the material as well on YouTube and on Twitter. I'd really appreciate that. It's the least you guys could do and the least we can do for each other to reciprocate the level of respect, right, for this content. Not that I'm saying my content's like, you know, unparalleled or anything, but it just lets me know I'm doing a good job. And that is the most important feeling that I chase, knowing that I'm doing something good for you guys, right? So in a way, it indirectly lets, or actually it directly lets me know that I'm doing a good job to make sure that you guys are learning something every day. So have yourselves a great day. I will keep you updated. I'm gonna probably be up for a while tonight because I'm in a trading mood right now, okay? So I'll see you guys soon. Bye now, and thank you for watching this video. I appreciate you.